Mountain Home Services Studio. This is 97.5 KZNS FM Colbert, 1280 KZNS AM Salt Lake City, and 102.7 KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. The noon hour is here.
Check it out.
And you're locked on to Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio station.
It's my station. It's my station.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, let's get it. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a beautiful Thursday. The sun is out. It's a great summer day here in the state of Utah. But you know what's more importantly? Two things. Number one, Hans Olsen's back. And two, I get to get a word in because I had 2 days of just keeping my mouth shut. And I was there in studio. I had my headphones on. I was ready. And you guys just got guest after guest after guest. I mean, you and PK left because you guys had to catch an early flight.
Yeah, we had an early flight.
And so, anyway, I throw the headset on. I bring us out a segment. I was all fired up. And then Alex is like, oh, we've got this guy and we got this guy. And more guys kept coming.
After we left.
After you left. Yeah,
Really?
there was like two back-to-back. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm out.
Coaches or players?
Lloyd, do you remember who?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
TCU quarterback.
And then was it Sonny? Did you have Sonny Dykes?
We did have Sonny Dykes, yeah.
There was I thought there was another coach. Brent Brennan.
Brennan
from Arizona.
came by.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we didn't get Brennan last year.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is nobody told Stone to quit working.
No. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he was
Stone
great.
was a machine.
Yeah, he was great. But we were laughing so hard because he was so dead set on going up to Deion Sanders and saying, excuse me, Diane, these guys over here would like to interview you. They said that you were a good AFL player.
About your foosball team?
Foosball. Yeah, that was the best part about Stone. I'm like, Stone, okay, you see that right there? That's Kyle Whittingham. He's like, which one? The guy right here in front of us, who the older gentleman,
who looks like he could still bench press a Toyota.
Don't say that out loud.
The guy
Stone.
with glasses? You mean the guy with glasses that's right there with that other guy?
Don't get us in a
suit?
fight, Stone.
That's all right, though, because he didn't care. He didn't know any. He's not intimidated by anybody.
No. Bosworth walked by, Brian Bosworth. I'm like, oh, that's Brian Bosworth. No, he didn't. He wouldn't have known. Are you a Bosworth fan?
The lore of Brian Bosworth, yes.
Yeah, the hype and the lure.
I remember that was like the first athlete biography I ever read was his autobiography, which was also like an episode of Red Shoe Diaries, too.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, he got into very specific details of what went on in Oklahoma.
Really?
And I'm like, I'm in, seventh grade English reading books, and I'm like, I don't think I should be reading this, but I'm going to keep on going.
But, football.
But it's football, And, that was – and so I've always had a place in my heart for Brian Bosworth.
My first autobiography I read of an athlete was Dennis Byrd.
Oh, really? Yeah, the Jets guy, the broken neck.
Yep. That was the first autobiography. And then who's the director now that's doing all the Pete Berg. Peter Berg?
Yeah.
Is it Peter Berg?
That sounds right, yeah.
He actually wrote and directed the movie.
Oh, okay.
Of him, and the movie came out like 3 or 4 years later, so I was able to see that too. This is a great story.
It is a great story.
Full fracture, severed his spinal cord. I don't know if he's still alive now, but just his fight to get back to any type of life was a pretty incredible story. That was that's Scotty.
He passed away October 15, 2016.
Oh, wow. That's actually the first book I ever read. It's one of the few and only that I've read cover to cover.
You say that, but you read quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't mean to dispel the myth.
I got a couple. I'm just very particular with what I read.
Yeah. It's got Porter Rockwell on the cover. You don't read it.
I've read everything that has ever involved Porter Rockwell. This is okay. So I read a lot, but I will only read if it's complete nonfiction.
Nonfiction. Yeah, I got you.
I will not read a book that has any fiction. None. At all. like zero.
I got it. I did a bad thing, by the way. You're going to be really disappointed in me.
What'd you do?
Well, Tuesdays, when it's, cheap Tuesdays to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Brody and I, because Jenny works late and has
I'm going to
obligations.
slap you. This will be I'm going to backhand you.
Yeah.
You did not do Jurassic. Why did you waste the money?
I did. Because you and I, our movies don't really align very much in what we like and what we don't like.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it does. Yeah. But I'm like, Hans really hated my Brody's like, well, it's going to be really good. He goes, dinosaurs are eating people. And I'm like, that's all you got to say. You're right. Dinosaurs are eating people. How can they screw that up? And they screwed it up.
They did.
They screwed it up.
Completely screwed it up.
Yeah.
Those dinosaurs. How about the dinosaurs with the extra set of arms?
Oh, geez. It was so dumb.
So you got this T-Rex thing that actually looked like a goldfish head.
Yeah.
And then it had like an extra set of arms, like it was something off of that last Toy Story. which was also the dumbest thing in the world, that final Toy Story. It was such a heartstring puller. Like, oh, we're in this cage of misfits that have been repurposed. So stupid. Don't ruin Toy Story.
How come, like, Toy Story in 93 and Jurassic Park in, 92, 93, like, they were better visually then than what came out in 2025?
Because Hollywood has just crapped in their pants and haven't changed their diapers. Like, they just sit and stew in their own filth.
Like, the video looked grainy. Like, it just looked bad.
Yeah, it did. How about that opening scene with the monkeys that are in the tree? And you're like, really? The opening scene, you got a CGI monkeys in a tree in a forest? Like, how is Predator the greatest all-time forest film? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because they built a Predator out of a gigantic man with crazy animatronics and put him in a freaking forest and filmed it there.
Yeah. And if you need a monkey, go train a monkey to go sit in a tree.
I'm telling you, there's monkeys in forest and trees. Go catch one and go look at it with a film.
Yeah. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard.
No, but instead, like, you've got these stupid CGI green screen monkeys.
Yeah. And the whole time, I just wanted the boyfriend to get eaten. Because, I mean, there was a lot of annoying characters in that movie. Like, nobody really was like, oh, man, I hope they make it. Like, none of them. Like, all of them, I'm like, I kind of hope that weird, dinosaur there at the end just eats them all. Yeah. Like, there was none of them that I'm like, I don't like any of you.
Yeah, they ruined that movie. But anyways.
I'm sorry.
It was, I told you not to.
I know.
But did Brody like it? Because you and I did it for our kids.
Yeah.
You got to do it for the kids.
Brody, you know what? Brody loved F1. He's like, let's just go watch F1 again because that movie wasn't very good. So I'm like, all right.
All right, well, there you go.
All right, Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hans, PK, Alex Keary, all putting in yeoman's work there in Frisco, Texas. By the way, did you get the burger?
Yeah, I got the burger. You want the picture?
The PB&J burger.
Where's my phone? I did. I got the PB&J burger. I went with the single, though, Scotty. You'd be disappointed in me.
Calories.
I didn't want to overextend myself.
So was it really like a donut?
I opted. Okay, two things for calorie purposes. I opted for the regular bun, and I opted for a single patty.
That still looks awesome, though.
Brant, look at this thing. So that's full jelly. That is a creamy peanut butter. It's a all-beef patty. It actually had 2 slices of cheddar.
So I had the cheddar to go along with the PB&J.
Yeah. I went with the it's just how would you describe that bun?
It looks like it's not a potato bun, but just a good, hearty bun.
Yeah, no sesame.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a buttered exterior, kind of a crispy exterior. So that picture looks better than it was.
Yeah, I that doesn't surprise me.
When the peanut butter hit the cheddar, you're like, the jelly hits the cheddar, and you're like, cheese and jelly.
Yeah.
The peanut butter hits the cheddar, and you're like, that's too thick.
Yeah.
I was telling PK, the peanut butter stuck to the top of my mouth, and that then stuck the burger patty to the top of my mouth into the peanut butter, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a place in downtown that does a peanut butter burger, and in your mind you're thinking, all right, and then you try it, and it's like, not what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Like the idea sounds better than what it is.
Yep. Like I'm 10 times more excited about our Vegas trip next week. 10 times
Go
more.
get some deep dish pizza.
Yeah. We've got one
place.
One place.
Yep. All right, Hans and Scotty, let's get to it. Big 12 Media Day in the rearview mirror. What did we learn? Well, let's hear from some of the ADs coming up. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Hans and Scotty G.
Let's go.
The lineup is set, and it's time to kick off the show with the biggest topic of the day. This is the starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Oh, my goodness. I just saw this come across the wire. You see, well, I guess it's been out for a few hours. AJ Dybantsa is throwing out the first pitch at Fenway before the Red Sox game tonight against the Rays.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Holy smokes. Life is pretty good for AJ. Signs that monster deal yesterday with Topps.
I just saw that.
Wow.
That's a big deal.
This isn't throwing out a first pitch at a UVU game. This is...
I thought you were going to say bees and totally discourage me.
I mean, I love the bees.
You and I have thrown a couple of opening pitches out there.
But nobody's asking us to go to Fenway, that's for sure.
Well, and, that's actually a gigantic deal.
Yeah.
When we were talking to Brian Santiago, like I could tell, he was there for football. It's football media days.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a good job with, the football stuff and but as soon as, I think it was Alex maybe mentioned it or PK mentioned AJ, total gear shift. And Brian was just a kid in a candy store. And you could tell that he was definitely leaning into it. And he's like, AJ Dybantsa is a big deal. And he is really proud of that team that they were able to put together. And you could just see he's beaming. PK was telling a story, something about luckily Danny Ainge is going to be there on the sideline with him to keep him in check or something. Like he'd talked to somebody and Danny Ainge was like, "Oh, I got him. I'll keep Santiago in check." Because, Brian Santiago's got a history of being crazy on those sidelines.
A little bit, yeah. And here's Brian Santiago talking about A.J. Dybantsa and taking off the AD hat and putting on a fan hat whenever he watches him play.
I'll take off my hat for a minute. Watching this guy play basketball, it's absolute sheer joy. He is so good because he makes everybody else great on the floor. I have to tell you this because I think we all had a little bit in us of, okay, here comes AJ Dybantsa. He's the number one potential pick in the draft. He's the number one player in the country. You see all the highlights of AJ Dybantsa walking in the gym and dribbling around till he can shoot. I saw him on 7 straight possessions in a highly intense scrimmage, get to the middle of the floor and kick for wide open threes. And all 7 of them went in. I got so excited I had to leave the gym. I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Because you think about someone that immensely talented, they could shoot the ball every single time they touch it. I literally said these words, he's as good a passer as Yegor. He's that good of a passer. And then whenever he needs to, he just rises up and can do things that you need to do late in the shot clock. So as a basketball guy, as a point guard, my dad always taught me, like, it feels better to get an assist than it does to get a bucket. And feeling like that's part of the team thing, that's what got me excited.
He says, now that was Brian's take. He said he's a better passer than Yegor.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Yegor drafted about 60% on his passing?
On his passing and point guard ability, yeah.
Would you say 60 or would you say more 70?
I'd say more 70. Because that's the big knock on him is he can't shoot.
Right, he's going to have to hit from the perimeter, and he did in
later in the year.
Yeah, later in the year, and in some workout projection settings, I saw a couple of videos surface where, what did he hit? He hit like 18 or 20 from the corner 3 in a row in a workout.
Yeah,
it was crazy what he did. But I think he was kind of drafted because of his ability, especially to pass inside the pick and roll at his height. So when you're saying he's a better passer than Yegor, okay, well, this is what's great. We all get to see it here in a few months. The other thing, we were sitting down with Greg Wrubell, and so, we did the legends in one non-legend
the legend dinner.
Did you see the picture?
No, I didn't. Did you tweet it out or did Greg?
No, I'm trying to. I don't want you to see it. I don't want you to see it. I was flexing in it.
What picture do you not? What picture do you not flex in?
That's the better question.
No, don't go scouring for it. But so we were at the dinner.
Yeah, good dinner.
And no, the dinner sucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
And the company was good. And I said, everybody's sitting around. Sometimes I like to hold court, and I'll say stupid things.
Never.
And I said, Greg's just excited to get this football season over with so he can get to basketball. And Greg was like, that's not true. That's not true. I'm fully invested. He goes, I am ready for football. I love football. And I'm like, Greg, you just want to see AJ. You just want to see Rob Wright. I was like, and he's like, no, that is not true. And, everybody's kind of sitting around laughing because there's some truth there.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Like, let's say, okay, you got the Utah State seasons coming up.
Yeah. Oh, you're totally flexing. Oh, this is a complete flex.
I was pecking out.
There's no subtle flex. No, like you're the king of the subtle flex.
Yeah.
There's no subtle about this one.
I had the peck going.
Yeah. The arms are always on display. The pecs.
Shoot.
And I love who you're flexing by. Too.
I didn't want you headhunting that picture. Dang it. So anywho, I was flexing big. When I sent the picture, I'm like, dang it, this is not good. I overflexed.
No, hey, we only joke because we're jealous.
No, that's not true. But I had worked out hard that morning.
Yeah, and
I was feeling really good about my arms. And then the picture took, and I was like, I overflexed, and it's not worth the flex. That juice wasn't worth the squeeze on that flex.
Oh, I highly disagree.
You could tell I'm holding my breath, too, which sucks. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, okay, so let's say that you had the number one recruit in the country.
November couldn't get here fast enough.
Right? You're like, let's get through this football season so I can get to – and I said that. But I could tell Greg was like, no.
Yeah.
But he's got to be full steam ahead.
Publicly, I would do exactly what Greg did.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, no. Look, from a professional standpoint, my heart would be in it. I'd be working my tail off. I'd be prepared like Greg would be. Nobody prepares more than Greg. He's an ultimate professional. But personally, am I looking forward to basketball a little bit more than football? Yes.
Yeah.
1,000%. A chance to look, BYU gets hot in football. Okay, best case scenario, they go to a Big 12 title game, and then they go to the college football playoff, which is really cool. But to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament with the number one recruit and a potential number one overall draft pick, and you're marching into the Sweet 16, and you could be going to the Final Four, that is the pinnacle of play-by-play.
That's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal. And I could tell Greg was excited about it. You could tell Santiago was excited about it. It's a Big 12 BYU Media Day for football. And one of the bigger stories was AJ Dybantsa.
Yeah, that's crazy. But, obviously when it comes to BYU and it comes to the conversation about the Cougars, right now it comes with money, and that's the storyline. And right now, Brian Santiago was asked about leading with money and being competitive, and talked about the situation BYU's in right now.
We're not going to lead out with money. We think that there is tremendous value in all the other areas, but make no mistake about it. We have to be real, and we have to deal in reality. If we're not competitive in the rev share, if we're not competitive in the NIL, they're not going to choose BYU. You can find the most Cougar Blue, faithful Latter-day Saint that's all in, that will give their right and left arm to come to BYU. If we offer them nothing and Stanford offers them $500,000, they're going to Stanford.
Right. Okay, by the way, when I was in studio and he was on with you, and by the way, thanks to Brian Santiago, he spent 35, 40 minutes with you guys on the air, and that's available for you at KSLSports.com.
Harlan was so good, too.
Harlan was great.
I was so pleased with the athletic directors, both of them.
But Lloyd will vouch for this because he started talking about AJ, and AJ showed up on campus, and we never talked money. We never did this. And I'm like, okay, we got to stop with this. Because if you don't have the money, AJ's not coming to BYU. I mean, that's just pure commerce there. And then he said that, and he did say, he goes, but as much as AJ loves BYU and his family loves BYU and they want him to be here, if we don't have the financial wherewithal to be competitive, he's not coming to BYU. And I'm like, thank you. That's all I want to hear from BYU is like, we understand we have to be competitive to get people to come here. The BYU, there's a lot of great things about BYU. There's a lot of great things about Utah. Great school, great education, great connections, Silicon Slopes.
Coaching.
Amazing coaching development.
The best coaching in the country.
100%. But at the end of the day, if you can't at least be competitive, you don't necessarily need to win, but if you aren't competitive financially, kids aren't going to come.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they recognize it, and he said that. But, yeah, at the end of the day, it's real, and we got to be able to compete from a financial standpoint.
Yeah, I thought it was a really solid statement and a good point by him. And BYU's obviously had front office, administration, quorum of the 12 type meetings where they sat down and said, we're going to make sure that this is still about the message of BYU. And, yeah, okay, we'll get the money, but make sure it's about the message of BYU. And, we all have to just sit back and understand it and listen and be like, oh, yeah, well, things are different and unique at BYU. I told my story. Every university had an incredible recruiting process that I stopped at. Every one of them. It had a message for days.
Yeah.
BYU's message was a little bit different for me, and it hit a little bit different for me, and it was right. But every university that I visited was awesome. Scotty rolling out championship rings and flashing championship rings and, your name up on these huge video boards. And, everyone had and BYU's just like, okay, it's fine. We're in the money business, but make sure that our message is out front. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, totally.
And Utah should do the same thing.
Yep.
And Texas Tech should do the same thing. All of them should be like, yeah, the money's here. Yeah, the money's here. But look at this. Because now the money's a lot of places.
Yeah.
But look at this. Look at what we could do for you here in Lubbock. Which, by the way, I was counting through, when we were rolling through the coaches, whether it was Sonny Dykes or it was Kleiman or it was Leipold or any of these guys that were coming through. I was watching and listening, and there was more mention of Texas Tech money than there was BYU money.
Yeah.
I think, as loud as it's been for BYU, I think collectively through the Big 12, there's still a perception that Texas Tech is leading out with the money.
Yeah. I mean, our guy Shehan Jerry Raji had that massive story about the billionaire who, by the way, was there and making the rounds on Media Row. The billionaire that's essentially saying, you know what?
He was there?
He was there.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know it either until afterwards, and I saw a bunch of people with some interviews with him. I couldn't pick the guy out of a lineup.
We would have got him instead of the Mountaineer from West Virginia.
It was a fun interview, though.
It was?
I thought so.
Oh, well, I learned a few things. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, the mascots were high-level annoying this year.
Yeah.
Some money. Joy,
way
yeah,
worse.
baby. Spending that money.
Yeah.
I love it. Once upon a time, you guys was talking junk about me going in that portal. Now when everybody going to portal, it's okay. It's cool when they do it.
Deion Sanders having some fun with Joey McGuire. He's spending that money, Joey.
Was that at the podium?
Yeah, it was at the podium.
Hey, play that cut one more time, Lloyd. I didn't even get to hear that.
Of what they've been doing in the portal, especially.
Yeah, Joey got some money. Joey, where you at, baby? Spending that money.
Freaking Deion, dude.
Yeah. And you know what? As much
freaking Deion.
And by the way, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think you got maybe a little bit of pushback from the guys you were with yesterday. But as much as there's bluster and hype and all this stuff that can be annoying, if Deion Sanders comes into my living room and says, "I want your kid to play for me,"
I'm going.
I might be sending him.
Yeah, I said that yesterday.
Yeah.
I would play for him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I would send Rock to him tomorrow. And but with the understanding of what I know of football, I wouldn't have everybody send their kid, and I would not suggest everybody go to Deion. But what I know of football and how I know how to act in that world, once you get Deion on your side, he'll go to his death with you.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you don't understand Deion or the mind of a guy like Deion, and you make the wrong step, you're done. You'll go 4 deep, and he'll bury you until you leave.
Yep.
But I've worked around those people, and I know those people, and I know how I could get the most out of them. And once you get something like that out of Deion went to the furthest extremes for his son Shedeur to an embarrassing level of building out a room for draft day where his son went down, to round number 5, which, by the way, I don't want to promote that. It's like Shedeur is probably not going to make that team.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to make the team.
I don't think so either.
If he does, it's because Papa. It's because Deion will not quit. But I can't wait to get into depth on some of these things with you because I know that you took in the big picture of Big 12 Media Days, and I want to now kind of build it out a little bit more on how we see the Big 12 playing out because there wasn't a media poll. I also want to talk about that because I talked off air with some of the coaches. I was like, this no media poll, and some of the feedback on that was interesting.
Yeah, we'll get to that coming up. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Any part of the show, every moment of every show is available in podcast form by searching Hans and Scotty on your favorite podcasting platform or online at KSLSports.com. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Live here at RGS Exteriors. Come on. Just all you have to do is call. I'm trying to work in a come by and see Hans Flex joke. But
no, don't. So I'm not happy that picture is out there circling.
I would very much be excited if there was a picture of me looking like that out there.
It's not my favorite.
801-280-3110. That's all you got to do is call 801-280-3110. All right, so no media poll. At KSLSports.com, we had our own informal poll among staffers. But you talked to a lot of coaches about that, and they were like, yeah, we know. We understand it's gone. Were they too brokenhearted that it was gone?
No, none of them. And, they all went back to the whole Arizona State thing.
Yeah, that was kind of the rallying cry behind it.
Feels like that was the kicking off point is – your mark felt like those polls take the attention away from the other teams in the Big 12 that could potentially be getting the attention. And I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a reach because, if anything, it became kind of a storyline, a rallying cry with Arizona State last year. Like, hey, look at these guys going from worst to first. And I thought that was like a cool storyline. But they think, it put them behind the 8 ball in the college football rankings. And yeah, I guess maybe, but I don't think so.
I will tell you that the big picture of this, I think that the Big 12 is going to be a much better conference than it was even last year. And last year you finished with the 4th, the 15th, the 13th, and the 25th best teams in the country. You had 4 teams in the top 25. Arizona State finished at number 4. Iowa State finished at number 15. BYU finished at number 13. And Colorado finished at number 25. Now, Colorado's going to get worse. I've got Colorado in the bottom third.
Yeah.
PK and Alex both pushed back on that. I don't know where you stand on that, but PK and Alex both pushed back on that.
It would not surprise me. I don't think they're going to be dead bottom, but I think definitely in the bottom half of the conference.
The point I made is if you couldn't pay college athletes, I think Deion Sanders would be almost a mythical level recruiter.
Yeah.
But because everybody can pay and because money reigns, if Colorado's not paying the most in Colorado, it doesn't matter. Deion could sit there and blow smoke out his ears. It doesn't matter. And he just lost a Heisman winner, and he just lost his quarterback that led the Big 12 in passing yards. I know Shedeur fell down the draft list, but he led the Big 12 in passing yards. So that's going to be and took every offensive snap.
Yeah.
For Colorado.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes. It's 100% right.
There was not another player for Colorado that threw a pass last year.
Nope. They were not going to let him.
That's a bad idea.
Cut into his stats.
That's a bad idea, bud.
Yeah.
That's why when Colorado was getting their butts kicked in the first half of that game, I thought for sure we'd see a different quarterback in the second half of that game of like, all right, go get some experience. But maybe they didn't do that because at that point BYU was ripping quarterbacks in half, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to get this guy hurt. So, Shedeur, go out there and just get rid of the ball as quick as you can. But I think Colorado's in a little trouble.
I think
I know they got some big 4-star kid that they're excited about.
They got a lot of kids that they're fired up about, but they have no experience.
Yeah.
And so, or no experience in the Big 12 or no experience at Colorado. So, no, I definitely think if I were, I put my poll, I put them at, I want to say 10.
You got them at 10?
Yeah.
I think Colorado could fall a little bit down the list. And the team that I continue to look at as a real tough competitor is Baylor. I think Baylor's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
One of the best quarterbacks, one of the best running backs, one of the best offensive lines, and an up-and-coming defense that's led by a head coach that was the highest-paid D coordinator in the country for an SEC powerhouse. LSU, was it?
Yep. Highest paid coordinator for a good chunk of time.
Yeah, I would say about a 3-year period, 4-year period.
Yep.
Aranda was the highest paid.
And for good reason, too.
So I look at Baylor, and I'm like, that could be a real problem. I felt like BYU was overlooked through Big 12 Media Days. I think that everybody kind of packaged him up with the Jake Retzlaff news and was like, well, shoot, that was a cute story. Good 3rd overall finish last year, and doggone it, this is just a bullet in the head of all your hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
That's the feel I got from off-the-air conversations with 2 different national insiders that were like, well, geez, this is just really a bruised shoulder, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it sucks, but it's not. That's not going to put them in the bottom third. They stay in the top third. BYU's defense is going to keep them in the top third.
Ooh, I like this. All right.
See, I think BYU and Utah's defense keeps both of them in the top third of this conference.
Because that's the thing. Like Utah had statistically one of the best defenses in the Big 12 last year and still finished under 500.
Yeah.
Significantly. And so that defense wasn't able to save him because that offense was so anemic last year.
It was so bad. But you know that
one-possession games.
You know it won't be that this year.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But if BYU's anemic offensively, I don't know if that defense is enough to save them. Because I agree. I think BYU's defense is going to be fantastic. And I actually have a lot of belief in McKay Hillstead, if he is, in fact, the guy. I've been championing that dude forever. So,
yeah, you have.
So, but if they slip into Utah's range in inefficiency offensively, then I don't know if that defense is going to be enough to save them.
2 running backs.
Good O-line.
3 great receivers.
Yeah. The receivers are far better this year than what Utah had last year, too.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
I've got both Utah and BYU in the top third. And I felt like BYU was one of the more overlooked teams through Big 12 Media Day. Everybody was just like, they're just dead man walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose Jake Retzlaff, dead man walking. And I think that they've got a lot to prove. I think BYU, as their guys came through, felt like they've got a lot to prove.
Yeah. I mean, look, Jake Retzlaff's on this team. I think that they're a college football playoff team. Yeah. Potentially. Without him on the team, I think they finish 4th, 5th, or 6th in the conference.
I think that's a fair assessment. And, that puts them right there in the top third.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was also going to, you go into these Big 12 Media Days with a preconception of the players, whether it's Josh Hoover or it's X, Y, and Z. And, these guys come to the table and you're looking at them like, oh, yeah, well, you're kind of what I expected or you're what I expected. And you remember the years with Caleb Williams and his handlers all the different quarterbacks that you and I have interviewed over the years through Pac-12 Media Days and Big 12 Media Days. I had built this preconception of who Devin Dampier is in my mind.
Oh, yeah?
And when he sat down and opened up his mouth, I was like, I got it all wrong. I'm just completely wrong on him. He's not a shogun. He's not a star seeker. He's not an attention
clown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeker. Yeah.
Pay for my services.
Yeah.
Like, he is a very calm, very humble, and deep thinking individual. It's like, was not what I thought. I thought he'd be kind of like a, quick side shooters off the hips type guy. Fast talker, and this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is what I'm expected to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And he was just kind of cold and calculated. And PK hit him with a curveball question, and it kind of stopped him. PK said, would you have come to Utah if it wasn't for Coach Beck? And he was like, and PK had a motive. He was trying to see if Kyle Whittingham hired Beck to get Dampier. And Kyle kind of admitted, it was a package deal. I
mentioned that, we talked about that before it either happened, yeah.
Yeah, it's a package deal. But I knew where PK was going. You've got that cut on Dampier? Here's PK asking Devin Dampier if he would have came to Utah if it wasn't for Coach Beck.
Would you have come if Jason Beck wasn't hired?
I don't know. I guess that's a big.
Because the point is your connection to him and him to you is
right.
strong.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's my guy. So
why is he your guy?
I tell people, it's a lot more than football for us. He brings me around his family, all his kids and his wife. So it's a real family, and he just understands me, on the field especially. He gives me a lot of freedom on the field. He trusts me, and I feel like I play at my best when I got a coach that as talented as him with his play calling, and just be able to trust me when I think things need to go another way. So just to have that from a coach, it's great.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought he was, out of everybody that I talked to and how I perceive people, he was the most different. Because I thought we've had cocky quarterbacks come through for years.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure he'd be reading his press clippings. He gets preseason newcomer of the year award. Was that what it was?
Yep.
Newcomer of the year?
Yep.
He got a ton of national headlines. Like, this is the big move of the Big 12 is in terms of quarterbacks. And I thought he's reading his press clippings for sure. And he didn't. So I really enjoyed that conversation with him. And I thought that was a good question. And I have actually higher hopes now for him than I had going into Big 12.
Interesting. All right, Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. What you may have missed coming up next. Also, remember at 2:05, legendary Jazz assistant coach Phil Johnson will join us, talk about the passing of Frank Layden. We'll talk about that with him coming up again, 2:05, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You're locked on to Hans Olsen and Scotty Cheer. That's right. Yeah! On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. By the way, tough story came out yesterday. The news broke. Frank Layden passing away at the age of 93.
93 years old. The legend of Frank.
Yeah.
Legend Layden. He's an incredible dude.
Oh, absolute.
All the different videos that have come out. And the thing is you'll never know. I don't know if Barbara ever kept track or if he ever kept track of how many different charity events he was a part of. Up until he was hospitalized and immobilized, he would attend every charity event that anybody asked.
Yeah. I don't know if that man ever said no in his entire life.
I don't think he did, and which shows the heart of Barbara.
Yeah.
She'd show up with those big glasses of hers and her huge personality, and she'd make sure that Frank's got everything that he needs to be comfortable, and it'll be a lasting memory of mine.
I think it's really cool to see on Twitter everybody's got a picture or a story of Frank Layden. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Why? Because he would talk to everybody and treat everybody equally. I mean, it's amazing. Like, you can't hop on X right now and not have somebody be like, here's a picture of me and Frank Layden, and he did this for my family, and he did this for my kids, or something along those lines. I mean, everybody's got a story.
You and I probably host 15 events every year. Like, you're hosting one tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Where you get up, you MC, you hit the mic, and you always got the notes. I'd say 70% of the events I've hosted in my time here in the state of Utah, 70%, maybe 80% in the notes, it's please acknowledge, please recognize. And it's not on his request. It's the event just knows, okay, Frank's there. Please recognize former Jazz head coach and legend Frank Layden here in attendance. And it's like, this guy's at every event. And not only is he at every event, he's present.
Oh, yeah.
And like Scotty mentioned, you're seeing so many pictures of him because he'd go hug anybody, talk to anybody.
I was on the phone with Kevin White last night and talking about a bunch of stuff, and Kevin's like, oh, man, I'm just brokenhearted over the Frank Layden. And he went on this story about, because he was the director of the Top of the Mountains Bowl, that junior college bowl game. Mm-hmm. And he goes, 2 years in a row, we'd have our big banquet, and Frank Layden would be the one to show up and be the keynote speaker. Said he put on a jock strap and rode it over the top of his head and said, be an athletic supporter.
Did that. The last event I saw him at was Ron McBride's birthday, and it was the Yo Man, I Love You. What is that?
Yeah, Yo, I Love You Man.
I Love You Man.
Yeah.
Event. And I co-hosted that. And I brought Frank up, and Frank pulls out this oversized jock, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And he always had some, funny gag or some way to make a crowd laugh, because the last thing Frank wanted to do was be boring.
Yeah.
And just be another voice. And just, have people be like, all right, get this guy off the stage. Every time Frank took the mic or stepped in front of you, he had something funny. He had some energy. He had a different angle. Like, you never wanted to get away from Frank. Like, there are people that talk that you're like, I just got to get away from this guy. You never wanted to leave Frank's side. You just wanted to be by him and, like, hear his stories, and he'd make you laugh with that crazy accent that he'd throw at you. But Frank was so good to you and I.
Oh, the best. The absolute best. And again, Phil Johnson, longtime Utah Jazz assistant coach, will be joining us coming up today at 2:05, and he'll share some, I'm sure, incredible Frank Layden stories. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.